Last week, EURJPY, the Nikkei, 10-year JGB yield and gold reached their convergence points. Congratulations to those who were able to secure profits. Now, let's take a look at the financial market outlook for the week of March 13th through 20th, 2026. How will the markets move this week? Let's take a closer look. This week's theme is checkmate for Iran's Revolutionary Guard, oil war, and the next move in the Middle East. Before we begin, a quick note on the model. This forecast uses 200 weeks of global market data and AI-assisted statistical analysis. It does not predict geopolitics, only where prices tend to converge over time. Based on these statistical dynamics, here are the projected convergence levels for this week. USD JPY is 156 yen and 63 sen. EUR JPY is 183 yen and 8 sen. AUD JPY is 110 yen and 48 sen. GBP JPY is 210 yen and 78 sen. The Nikkei 225 is 53,171 yen. The Dow Jones is $47,801. 10-year JGB yield is 2.21%. Gold is $5,038. These are statistical convergence zones, not directional forecasts. Nearly 2 weeks have passed since the United States and Israel launched their attacks on Iran. Iran has now completely lost control of its airspace, and many of its key military facilities have been devastated. As a result, Iran's ability to retaliate, including missile launches, has significantly declined. Meanwhile, Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps is using its remaining missiles and drones. They continues launching desperate, indiscriminate attacks on port facilities across the Gulf and U.S. military bases. The apparent objective is to drive oil prices higher and create turmoil in the global economy. However, this strategy is unlikely to be sustainable for long. In Iran, Mojtaba Khamenei, believed to be the successor to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, has declared the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. In response, over the weekend of March 13th, the U.S. military launched an attack. They struck the military facilities on Karg Island, the hub responsible for roughly 90% of Iran's oil exports. The facilities were reportedly completely destroyed. There is now growing speculation that U.S. Marines may land on the island and take full control of it. If Karg Island is occupied by U.S. forces, Iran's oil exports would effectively come to a halt. That would mean the largest financial lifeline of Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps would be cut off. In that sense, Iran may be approaching a strategic checkmate, not only militarily but economically as well. President Trump commented on the recent strikes, saying that the oil facilities themselves were not targeted. However, he also warned that if Iran attempts to enforce the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, no one can predict what might happen next. In other words, the United States may still be holding a powerful card for the next move. At first glance, the situation in the Middle East appears to be expanding, as Iran launches retaliatory attacks across Gulf nations. But in reality, the overwhelming military power of the United States is steadily weakening the capabilities of Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps. And this pressure is not limited to the battlefield. It is also eroding Iran's economic strength. Currently, WTI crude oil prices are hovering around $100 per barrel. If U.S. and allied forces successfully secure the tankers passing through the Strait of Hormuz, oil prices could fall sharply. Global stock markets have already undergone significant corrections. From here, market movements may be largely driven by the direction of oil prices. For that reason, close attention must now be paid to developments in the oil market. Please note that the market outlook presented here is estimated using a stable convergence model based on statistical analysis. We accept no responsibility for any investment results derived from this forecast. That concludes this week's Global Financial Market Weekly Outlook. Thank you very much for watching until the end.